In 1949, China emerged from decades of war and devastation, its people weary and its economy in ruins. The new leadership under Mao Zedong faced a nation of deep poverty, shattered infrastructure, and a population mostly of rural farmers. Hunger and hardship were daily realities, and the dream of a modern China seemed distant. The government promised to end humiliation and restore national pride, but the world watched with skepticism. Isolated by the Cold War, China had to rely on its own people and resources. Leaders believed collective effort could transform society, taking control of land and factories and organizing people into large collectives. The goal: mobilize the nation for rapid reconstruction and self-reliance. It was a bold experiment, driven by ideology and necessity. The government aimed to build an industrial base from scratch and ensure no one went hungry. The path forward was uncertain, but determination was absolute. The journey ahead would be long, marked by both triumphs and setbacks. China's leaders set out to fundamentally reorganize society, believing this was the only way to overcome immense obstacles. The initial steps were sweeping, with the state directing every aspect of economic life. The challenge was not just to rebuild, but to create a new nation from the ground up. The world wondered, could China truly rise from the ashes? The answer would unfold over decades of struggle and transformation. The story of modern China began with hardship, but also with hope. The stage was set for a dramatic national rebirth. The new government's ambition was immense. They wanted to transform China overnight. The Great Leap Forward in the late 1950s mobilized the entire nation into communes and backyard steel furnaces. Revolutionary fervor clashed with reality. The steel was useless and farms were neglected. Food production collapsed and a catastrophic famine followed. The tragedy revealed the dangers of ignoring economic realities and the limits of sheer willpower. China lacked technology, expertise, and realistic planning. The famine left deep scars and forced leaders to reconsider their approach. The government retreated from radical policies, focusing again on agriculture and recovery. The lesson was clear: passion alone could not build a nation. Practicality and expertise were essential. The era of grand campaigns faded, replaced by a search for a new path. Leaders realized that careful planning and adaptation were crucial for progress. The dream of prosperity endured, but the road would be harder than anyone imagined. The experience shaped a more pragmatic mindset for the future. China's leaders would not forget the cost of reckless ambition. The stage was set for a new era of reform. The next chapter would demand both vision and caution. The late 1970s brought a true turning point. Deng Xiaoping's rise signaled a new era. Deng was pragmatic, famously declaring, "It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice." He dismantled collective farms, introducing the household responsibility system. Families could lease land and sell surplus crops. Incentives spurred hard work, and agricultural output soared. Food shortages faded, and confidence grew. Reforms expanded to industry and trade, opening China to the world. Special economic zones like Shenzhen attracted foreign investment and technology. China shifted from rigid central planning to a hybrid model, socialism with Chinese characteristics. The state guided the economy but allowed private enterprise and market forces to flourish. This unleashed entrepreneurial energy and set off unprecedented growth. The world watched as China's transformation accelerated. The reform and opening up era marked the beginning of China's economic miracle. A new chapter had begun, one defined by pragmatism, openness, and rapid change. The foundation for modern China was laid. China's reforms turned it into the world's factory. Special economic zones drew foreign companies attracted by low-cost labor and a vast workforce. Millions migrated to cities, assembling goods for global markets. The Made in China label spread worldwide, fueling export-driven growth. But China didn't just assemble, it learned. Factories absorbed technology and management skills from foreign partners. Over time, Chinese companies moved up the value chain, designing and improving products. The government invested heavily in education, producing millions of skilled graduates each year. This focus on human capital powered China's move into advanced industries. Export earnings funded better infrastructure and more sophisticated factories. A self-reinforcing cycle of growth took hold. For 3 decades, China's economy grew at nearly 10% per year. The nation transformed from poor and rural to an industrial giant. China had become the workshop of the world. Economic growth triggered a massive migration from villages to cities. Small towns became megacities. Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenzhen boomed. urbanization brought a construction frenzy. Skyscrapers, airports, and high-speed rail reshaped the landscape. Infrastructure investment connected cities and fueled further growth. For migrants, city life meant higher wages, better schools, and new opportunities. Urban living offered a path out of poverty and hope for the next generation. But rapid growth brought challenges: crowded cities, expensive housing, and pollution. A gap widened between coastal cities and inland regions. The government responded with policies for environmental protection and regional development. Social services for migrant workers improved, but strains remained. The rise of the megacity was both opportunity and challenge. China's urban transformation was unprecedented in scale and speed. The nation's face and its future had changed forever. Urbanization became a defining force in modern China. China's early tech growth relied on imitation copying and adapting foreign technology. This strategy fueled manufacturing, but leaders knew true power required innovation. In the 21st century, China invested billions in research and development. Companies were encouraged to create their own intellectual property and brands. A new generation of entrepreneurs built world-class firms like Alibaba and Tencent. China leapfrogged to the mobile internet, building vast digital ecosystems. Mobile payments, e-commerce, and social media became part of daily life for hundreds of millions. In areas like 5G and AI, Chinese firms became global leaders. The tech leap created new industries, jobs, and conveniences. Even remote regions joined the digital economy. The government now targets leadership in AI, green energy, and biotech. China's tech story is a symbol of its broader transformation. From imitator to innovator, China is now shaping the future of global technology. The next industrial revolution may well be led from Beijing and Shenzhen. After 4 decades of relentless growth, China has lifted hundreds of millions from poverty. The average Chinese enjoys a standard of living unimaginable to past generations. Modern housing, education, and healthcare are now widespread. Economic success has restored national pride and global influence. China is the world's second-largest economy and a major trading nation. Its investments and the Belt and Road Initiative connect it to countries worldwide. The yuan is gaining importance in global finance. China's rise has shifted the global balance of power. It is a diplomatic and military heavyweight, modernizing its armed forces rapidly. The China-US relationship now shapes global politics and economics. China stands as a modern superpower, its transformation a testament to resilience and vision. The rise of China is one of the defining events of our time. Its story is a powerful example of how a nation can reshape its destiny and the world.